Welcome back, my pets. This is Gleam the Tri-Tailed Arctic Fox, your host on the dazzling Glaceon. Today I'm bringing you some Pokebattle. This battles were actually recorded the same day as my Pokemon Showdown battle that I posted last week or two. I don't know. Regardless, I posted it, and it was on the same day. So I'm using my awesome team with a Mega Ampharos and a Shaman Sky. I really liked this setup, actually. This team was really slick. It worked for a long time on on Pokebattle. I think it got me all the way to like 1800 rating, if I remember right. I'll have to check my the score at the end of the battle if I can see it, because in Camtasia it looks really tiny. Not gonna lie. So yeah, that's pretty much how the team works. It's got a solid core of using Ampharos as a special wall and using Sleep Talk and Rest to Volt Switch and Hidden Power Ice. Pretty much gets me into safety, and so I can go into Shaman Sky without a hitch, and or of course go into Alakazam, which is great. And you know, the Ampharos itself has such a massive special attack, it doesn't need any investment. I mean, with max investment, it hits like 500 something. That is far too much. So with no investment, it should be around 430 if I'm remembering right. So a Volt Switch from that kind of power should hurt anything that doesn't resist it, like legitly. It would probably kill that Charizard right there if I went for Volt Switch and, you know, not died, because that would make sense, right? So, I mean, yeah. Of course, this Talonflame is Choice Banded, which is going to do just as much damage as his freaking Ampharos. You see this? This Slowbro is getting so lucky right here. This Slowbro is getting so lucky. But I finally do kill it because he doesn't realize I can kill him, and that happens. So I'll go back on the Talonflame, which is obviously the perfect switch into absolutely nothing, because, I mean, nothing wants to take a hit from a Talonflame with a Choice Band. Like, seriously. You can name any Pokemon, and nothing's going to take a hit from this. I mean, if you send a Tyranitar, U-turn will kill it. Well, not kill it, but do a good 40%. So, yeah, literally, this Talonflame is a threat. So I've priority Brave Bird, which should probably sweep the rest of his team, because nothing wants to take it. So that's pretty much that. I mean, what are you going to do, right? Yeah, he forfeited, and, I couldn't see it. I think it said 1770, so I might have lost a few battles, but you know what? I don't really care. Because it's Pokebattle, it's still in beta, it was for fun. That's what I do. I play for fun. Well, I still kick ass, but don't get me wrong. But I play for fun, so that's what I do. Anyways, we finally get another battle-ish, I think. Maybe. I don't know. Can we get another battle, please? Well, why am I asking, like, can I get another battle? Of course we get another battle. Hello, I recorded this. It's an after recording. I am such a moron sometimes, I tell you. Oh my god. So let's get into this, and we got the team with the Jirachi and the Deoxys and the Gyarados and the Latias and the Conkeldurr, and I have no clue how all of that fit into Pokebattle's team, but it did. So I'm not exactly scared of Deoxys because he went for the Psycho Boost, and I know Talonflame can wreck whatever comes in. Look, -1 and Talonflame still 2-hit KOs at Gyarados. Now here's an Arcanine. Arcanine gives me a hell of a problem. And also, before anybody mentions anything, yes, this is an illegal Gliscor. I just never felt to change it. I was too lazy. And Pokebattle let me use it. I'm just like, yeah. I didn't realize till later the night after I made this team that I was using a completely illegal Gliscor when I wanted to get one hacked into my Pokemon X game. And I'm like, oh shit, I just realized I can't have default with Poison Heal. Whoops. So I ended up getting a Hyper Cutter one hacked in my game, which is, you know, okay. Obviously not as good, but still okay. Yeah. But yeah, Conkeldurr is really not going to do anything to me. I mean, it's got Ice Punch and all, but I can still wall it because of the Ice Heal, which is, I mean, Poison Heal, which is kind of bullshit because, you know, it's not supposed to be able to. But yeah, that's that. I just let Shaman Sky die for some reason. I think it was a misclick, to be honest. I don't quite remember, but there's no reason I should switch a Shaman Sky into an Ice Punch. I mean, who would do that, right? Duh. Or why he would switch an Arcanine into a already, like, Stealth Rock plus Brave Bird ×2. Yeah, I think it's going to take that. Yeah, Jirachi. That would have been a better switch. What a moron. Anyways, yeah, that happened, and, I'm not quite sure how strong Shadow Ball really is, but it does take out the Latias, which I didn't expect to switch in. But yeah, Jirachi is weak to it, so I mean, it made sense to switch at that point, but it's also a special wall, so I didn't think I would kill it at all. Like, here I'm debating what the hell to use, 'cause I don't know if he would actually stay in or not, so I just, like, kind of worked around it. Went into Ampharos, which I know can kill whatever comes in, and of course it does with the Volt Switch and the stuff and the things, and it wrecks that Gyarados. There wasn't even a chance in hell. And then, of course, Flare Blitz will take out the Jirachi, because Choice Band and Flare Blitz feels good, right? And I can sweep the rest of his team, which is Conk Elder, with Alakazam because of the rocks. Yeah, I think that's at 1758, so yeah, I am a bit lower on the ladder than I was, but you know what? That's whatever. Get in another match. Come on, give me another match, please. I want to narrate more. Oh, and this battles are also obviously sped up at 2 times the speed, if not a little bit more, because you know what, that was very long, and I want to keep my videos to a maximum of 20 minutes nowadays. I think it'd be a lot easier on me to upload if there's just a maximum of 20 minutes, because the rendering times is absolutely dreadful for anything higher than that. I don't know why. It's just like, no, you can't render anything higher than that. You lose. So we do get another battle eventually. There we go. He's got a Landorus, a Latias, a Rotom, a Pinsir, and a Bisharp, I think. No, it's a Gothitelle, or is it a Gothitelle? I can't tell. The sprites are too small. Yeah, that's definitely got to be a Bisharp. But this Poliwrath here, is giving me some serious trouble this game. Not even gonna lie. This Poliwrath it's sub-focus punch, and it's just so powerful. I have nothing really to resist it other than my Gliscor, which doesn't take water moves. So yeah, it's not good. It's not good at all. I get screwed. And see, right there, I get screwed again. I missed my Focus Blast, which... yeah, I missed it twice. You see that? You see that? Missed my Focus Blast twice. This is why Focus Blast is a bad move, but yet I can't avoid using it. So, that happened. I obviously U-turn on this Rotom because I predicted it to come in, and I go back on Alakazam, which can hopefully kill it with a dazzling Psyshock. But guess what? Don't kill it. So that's a thing. And Rotom's going to Volt Switch out into Bisharp, and Bisharp's going to be a problem, so... ignore my background, by the way. That was a misclick. I didn't mean to go that low on the screen. That was a Flare Blitz, and it kills the Bisharp, which is great. And then he sets up his rocks, which means my Talonflame is dead. I mean, in reality, I can't do anything now to it. I go into a Focus Punch with my Ampharos, and God, did that hurt. But I obviously predicted him to do stuff, and I rested up, because that was kind of the smart move. He does get me down to really low health with a Hidden Power Ice, which I was really mad that he had and all, but yeah, whatever. So I do switch Talonflame back in. Apparently I had 1 hit left in me, but it didn't matter because he died to a Feint. I was very unaware that Pinsir got Feint, so I was pretty shocked when I saw that, but I'm like, okay, so you had a higher priority move than me, that's pretty cool. And yeah, then Pinsir continues to sweep my team because I cannot kill that thing at all. Except he switches into Landorus. Yeah, he switched! He had a perfect opportunity to kill my Shaman with a with Feint, and he switches into a Landorus. Why would he do that? Even more so, I take down the Landorus, and then he goes into Latias, which of course will kill me, because there's no possible way I can live with 1 HP. So yeah, that was a battle. Next battle, he has a bunch of stuff with Amoonguss and Slowking and Galvantula and Aerodactyl and a Camerupt. In other words, a whole bunch of weak stuff with Regenerator, and they're normally not really good stuff. Mega Aerodactyl is a really good Pokemon, but it's just not strong enough to kill anything on my team, really. I'm just so bulky in that sense. Ampharos, of course, probably wouldn't even die to an Earthquake, even though my physical bulk isn't the best in the world. But I'm pretty sure I can live because it isn't stabbed and everything, and it doesn't even get its Tough Claws boost, so yeah. Of course, my Milotic will wall Camerupt for days, and that's not even a problem. I do go for the Confuse Ray to get the confusion on the Slowking, knowing I can safely switch into something else from that. After, of course, getting the ever-so-needed Toxic on the Slowking, because, oh my god, Toxic on a Slowking is just so good. He does have a Toxic on his Amoonguss after my Hidden Power does 50% to an Amoonguss. That is ridiculous. That tells you how much power Ampharos has. 50% to an Amoonguss. And then look at that, another 45, like, percentage to a Camerupt. That is so ridiculous. This thing's power is off the charts. I know I could take a hit from this, so I stayed in and all, but then I didn't take it too well, so I'm like, nah. So I go back into my Milotic, and so I can safely just kill the thing if he wants to stay in, of course, you know. There's a chance he switches into a Mungus. Yeah, and I get the burn, so that's always nice, because residual damage on all these regenerator cores, it is just so delicious. Go back into my Ampharos, knowing I can take any hit this thing has, and of course, go for the rest, which of course puts me back in a wonderful position, because I can go for the Sleep Talk again, kill something off and or do damage, which I do to this Wigglytuff. I take a clean 50% out of it, and then go into my Talonflame with the Volt Switch for a clean kill with Brave Bird, which of course also kills off the Galvantula and pretty much everything else on his team. As you see, Camerupt can't take it. Aerodactyl's the only thing that can take it, so obviously I'm going to switch out because I don't want my Talonflame to die quite yet. Knowing I can take out the rest of his team, Talonflame is too vital. So I'm going to go into my Milotic and actually go for the Confuse right here, hoping I can just confuse it, because I know a Scald wouldn't kill, but apparently I was wrong, because Scald did kill, so I'm like, oh, how about that? I can actually stay in on this and go for the Confuse right, just so I can get a clean switch into my Alakazam, but I do actually get hit, so it's kind of sad. But the fact that his Slowking is toxic means he can't actually kill my Alakazam. So I'm going to keep going for the Psyshock here, waiting for the switch into a Mungus, which he does do now, and then I die, and so does he. So that leaves Shaman versus Slowking, and I wonder who wins this matchup. Yeah, that's right, Shaman wins the matchup. So we say our GGs, I get a little more points, and we move on to the next match. Come on, what's next? There's probably one or two more battles left, depending on how short they are, I don't remember. It does take a while to find battles some days. There we go. So this guy's got Manectric, Conkeldurr, Latias, Clefable, Bisharp, and Garchomp. That is pretty devious. I expect the Garchomp to come in, so I go for the Hidden Power Ice, and Clefable comes in. So I wasn't too happy with that, and I just Volt Switch out. And it turns out it is a Calm Minding Clefable. Yeah, my only thing to check that is Talonflame, so I just go straight for the Flare Blitz, which of course Garchomp walls, but I have a defogging Gliscor, so I don't care much about that. And I set up my own rocks because I know I can go back on the Talonflame and scare it if I really need to. Plus my Earthquake does it like 35% anyways. And then I go into my Milotic to try and like get poison on it just to see if it was unaware or not. And well, obviously it's not unaware, it has that other ability, Magic Guard. And then my Talonflame is going for Steel Wing so I don't actually kill myself with Recoil. And we just sit here in a stall war for like years. And he kills my Talonflame, which is really, really sad. Next I go into my Shaman Sky, knowing I can probably Flinch Hacks it to death. And I do a lot of damage and all, but I die. So, because he got all those recovers and everything. So I'm going to go into my Milotic, confuse it, and then try and kill him with Alakazam, but I can't do anything with Alakazam either, so Alakazam dies. Yeah, I just quit there. I can't handle Clefable with that set. That was devious. That was devious. The next guy has a lead Jolteon, which I expect the HP Ice, so I go directly into my Milotic to take the HP Ice, but he stays in, but he's double switches to his Gliscor. We have this toxic stall situation going on, and he's just protect stalling, and I'm just like, whatever, and I come, yeah. But I finally want to keep my Milotic alive, so I go into my Shaman, who can obviously wall Gliscors forever. I don't know why I didn't do this from the beginning. No Gliscor can touch my Shaman unless it's carrying Ice Fang, and if it's carrying Ice Fang, it can't carry Toxic, so, yeah. I go for the Seed Flare, do a massive chunk to Jolteon. I go into my Milotic pretty much as death fodder, but he did go for the HP Ice and all, so I'm figuring maybe he's Choice Locked, and guess what? He was Choice Locked, so I was able to do it. Here I go for the HP Ice because I don't want to Mega Evolve on a HP Ice, that'd be silly. And I kill off the Jolteon. Here's Mega Mawile. I'm pretty sure he's going to go for a Swords Dance, so I just go for the Volt Switch. He does go for the Swords Dance, and I know the Gliscor can take one, but instead he actually doesn't go for the Sucker Punch, and he opts to go for something else. So my Gliscor does take out the Mawile, which is pretty freaking awesome. Shaman, of course, comes in afterwards and takes on the Whimsicott rather nicely, because Whimsicott can't troll a Grass type. It's just proven fact. So every time Whimsicott comes in, I can safely come into my Shaman and kill it off. I mean, there's nothing he can do. Talonflame doesn't scare me too much. I do have this Gliscor, which is, yeah, whatever. I did screw up, of course, and I didn't go for the Roost. I went for the Rocks instead, but I had a sashed Alakazam, so that very much did not matter. And his Darmanitan ended up being Scarfed, but I have a Brave Bird in the back, so that is a good game for that guy. I should have one battle left if I remember right. There we go. So we got another battle, which he has Landorus, Latias, Rotom, Heat, Poliwrath. Oh wait, is it that guy again? Yeah, I think it's the same guy that I battled before with the Poliwrath. Huh. Yeah, I think, did he beat me the first time? I think he did, because he was so powerful. Let's see what happens this time, because I don't completely remember at all. He just U-turns, so I go straight for the Earthquake, not knowing what he wants to go into, but he has literally like 9 different counters in my Gliscor, so he can literally go into anything he wants to. But he goes into his Poliwrath, which doesn't like the Earthquake too much, so yeah, he sets up some bulk ups, and that's a thing. So I'm pretty much dead at this point, so I'm just like, I go for the defog, get rid of the rocks on both sides, and then maybe I can set up my own rocks, and I do. So not only do I stop him from making his sub, I set up my own rocks, and I get rid of his rocks, and manage to break his substitute many times, and kill off the Poliwrath. Except I don't, because I went for the Brave Bird, the U-turn, thinking he would switch. I don't know why I thought he would switch, or maybe I just thought it would kill in general, but it didn't. Either way, it was a screw-up. So here I have a Stalwart on my Melodic, thinking it's really a funny idea to have a Stalwart with his Poliwrath. It turns out it was a good idea, because this thing is getting trolled to crap, and I'm really, really loving how funny it is. Oh, I'm not gonna lie, it's a hilarious mess up. He does have, I'm pretty sure he has Water Absorb, so I didn't try and use Scald. That's exactly why I didn't. And the Poliwrath goes down to Confuse Ray, which is really, really funny. He goes into his Rotom Heat, which I'm not too afraid of. I'm just gonna stand and recover, because I'm pretty sure I can take any hit it throws at me, being a special wall and everything. Or actually, this one's a physical wall, but that's not the point. He goes over his Latias. I'm pretty sure I could take a hit from that as well, so I go for the Toxic, because any Toxic on this thing is great. Unless Latias is carrying Refresh, I'm pretty sure I could stay in here all day. So he goes for the Thunderbolt. I'm like, okay, that's whatever, I'll die here, because I didn't realize he would do that much, and I'm just going to Talonflame to kill you with U-turn. And or watch get switch per initiative, because he might want to preserve it, which he does. He goes into his Bisharp. I know from previous experience this Bisharp cannot kill my Ampharos, so I go into Ampharos to go for the Volt Switch, as he goes directly into Rotom, so I can go into my Alakazam, hoping to kill it this time with Psyshock. And this time Psyshock does kill his Rotom, so I'm pretty well off there. He goes into Bisharp, going for the Focus Blast, hoping to kill it this time, but guess what? I missed the Focus Blast for the 3rd time on the same Bisharp. Go figure. So he kills me with the Sucker Punch, and I'm forced to go for the U-turn here because I don't want to lose my Pokemon. And yeah, he goes into, or he just keeps going for Sucker Punch. He has nothing to lose really. So I'm predicting a switch. No, I didn't predict a switch. Yeah. I had a big gut feeling he would switch. I just did not go for the Hidden Power Ice. But here I stayed in, knowing I'm pretty boss, and I'm like, he's going to set up rocks to kill my Talonflame. So I stayed in and went for HP Ice. So that was actually the best move I had, and it worked out really well. Here I'm predicting him to go for Swords Dance, or not to have an Earthquake at all. So I'm going to go straight for the Volt Switch instead of, hoping crazy stuff happens. We apparently have a long lag. Oh, there we go. Okay, yeah, he did go for Swords Dance, but he didn't Mega Evolve, so I couldn't quite kill him. Which means we're in a bad situation again, but my Ampharos can't take an Earthquake, and I die again. So, that's been the narration. This has been the Gleam Tri-Tailed Arctic Fox, your host of the Dazzling Glaceon. Hope to see you later, and goodbye.